Hey guys, welcome back to D&D with Filthy and Friends. I think this is going to be called the Trainwreck episode. Just for the way it's working out today for everyone. So, quick recap of last episode. We made some decisions, scared the locals, had some bread, and then came downstairs and found some ghouls. No one really believed there would be ghouls in the water, but Thaddeus knew. Thaddeus always knows. And we killed the ghouls, and we've now convinced Sniven that although it's water and water's wet and he hates being wet, it's okay. We're going to go upstream and see what's up there.
And try not to die.
That's right. So, let's get to it. Where are we going? I mean, you still have rowing resources left, right?
You all have dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll my passive rowing and see how it
yeah.
goes.
There's going to be so many of those little passive sort of jabs throughout the whole session for sure.
All right.
So you're just going to basically keep going until you find something, right?
I'm going to be passive in the boat and let Thaddeus do the rowing. So that's my jab.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll row for Sniven. He's tired.
Sounds fair.
Why are you in this boat with me, you fiend?
What are you guys talking about? You guys are best of friends.
I don't say a word.
So this underground stream winds for more than 2 miles through lightless grottos, and it eventually leads to an underground lake.
So after like 2 miles,
Of rowing up current. How bad's the current?
It's kind of like, it's very still, and it's not like upstream. I mean, it's very, very slow and steady incline, so it's very easy to row. It's not hard at all. You imagine that this was probably used quite frequently, and so it's been designed that way to make it easier to enter.
Okay.
You guys found yourselves,
ooh, there's a 1. The 1 implies that there's lots of other numbers everywhere.
Yeah.
So
So
this is fucking huge.
just for this one map, I couldn't find a player version, so you're going to see the DM numbers. So apologies.
Yeah.
I just need to find where we're going.
Oh, that's water. I was gonna say, so we popped out on a grassy plain somehow? No, that's water.
I just have to say that as a player, I'm fucking terrified right now.
Okay. Well,
Good.
that's 2 uses for those Gatorade bottles.
Right.
So the ceiling's 15. Oh, that's indoors. Never mind. Hang on. Okay. Firelight shines from a large cavern ahead. The stream opens into a large underground lake. To the right, a crumbling stone quay leads to a tunnel heading to the northeast. A 10-foot skiff is moored to the quay, and a torch burns in a bronze sconce by the tunnel mouth. Beside the quay is a 20-foot wide canal which leads north from the large lake. The lake stretches westward into darkness.
Cool. So we found an
So this-
underground lake.
There's still no light of any kind anywhere that we can see.
There's that
Only
torch.
the light. So you guys haven't technically got to that point, I guess. Really, when you get here, you're going to see. God damn this mouse! You're going to see this is the sconce.
Mm-hmm.
But at the moment, you guys can just see there's light emanating from here, and you just kind of tell me what you want to do. You're in the rowing boats at this bit down here.
So I have
Keep rowing.
120-foot dark vision.
120.
Yeah, that's what I've had that all campaign. That's the thing that lets me see through magical darkness. Also gives me 120-foot dark vision.
I think everyone has 120. Is that right?
No, everybody else.
Nope.
Has
I have
60.
60.
Yeah.
So I just see twice as far as everybody else. Okay. Sure is a nice lake.
Okay, so
Well, this has been a great outing, Chakolth. It's been just lovely to row for 2 fucking miles underground after killing an entire castle.
Can I get
Seems very important to what we're doing.
Don't get
Can
your
I get,
panties
like,
in
a short
twist,
rest?
Tim. There'll be some giant lake monster you can wrestle later. I'm sure. You know what?
I'll say, how long would it take to row 2 miles? What do you reckon?
Can I just like try to convince Tim to just row so slowly that I can sneak a long rest in?
12 hours of rowing.
No, it's not going to be that long for 2 miles.
Yeah. All right.
I don't
Okay,
know. I don't row.
We continue on.
Everyone roll perception.
I'm great at this.
You are now. Right, so let's see. Where's Chakolth? There.
10.
Good. How do I... So you can see, like... Okay. What we got? 23. So Tim can see... Actually, I'll just type it.
It's the Loch Ness Monster. They're friendly river dolphins, Tim. Don't worry about those fins.
Chemist.
So, do you guys want to see the lake, or
How like
What does odd looking mean, Adam? Odd is
Not natural. It's got strange features on it that... You know what it
Okay.
is, but you're like, that's not a normal one of those.
I read that as like wearing a tuxedo or something.
Sure. Of course you did.
Right. Well, yep, there are scary things in the water. You're right about that.
All right.
are they ghouls?
How are you
I-
at maritime combat?
Swimming.
I forget if these boats are mounted with cannons. Don't see them.
That's your job, aren't you the cannon? Fireball now, right?
That's Thaddeus. I didn't have time to fucking put fireball in my spellbook, so you have to fucking
Gosh,
row
if only we
2
had
miles
some time.
underground.
Oh man. This campaign's getting better by the day.
so? What do you see? What do you see?
I see a snake-like serpent and an odd-looking shark in the water.
Odd looking. Is he wearing a tuxedo?
That's exactly what I just said.
I suggest we get to land. I don't want to drown out here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like this thing next to this green torch, like is there like a wall that we would have to like get?
Yeah.
Like
describe
scales
describe
get-
that white platform a little bit for us.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Is it just like some steps that we could just like kind of row up and
Yeah, I think we
Like
beat
beach?
against it. Yeah.
Well, that's what we were asking. He's asking if it's a wall or not. Like, imagine
Right.
if it's like
A
10
crumbling
foot above.
stone key leads to a tunnel heading northeast. So I think that would be
Must
this area
back.
here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's land there temporarily. And we can lure that serpent into.
sure
Coming on
glad
the
we
land.
could just leave whenever we want to.
You're a strong swimmer, Sniven. I've seen you in the past. It's only 2 miles. Slow current. You'll be fine. Just back float.
Just
Oh,
ride the
right,
serpents.
Because the current is going that way.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I suppose when I'm unconscious, my unconscious body will eventually make it out to the river.
And even better, there's a handy grate, so you're not even gonna float out to the actual river and get stuck. You'll wake up lolling against that grate, the gentle rocking of a cool stream.
What could go wrong? Okay, so we beach the ships to this north area here.
These are
Someone's show me the path you take.
Just directly north of us.
are we? I check for traps. Oh wait, no, I don't. I'm not doing that. Yes.
Just that,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So that we're not grappled by a serpent
Come on.
underwater.
Why not?
So you get to there, and this thing comes out of the water.
There probably isn't even a
Yes!
serpent
Yes!
here.
What is
right?
it? Oh, it looks so cool. What is it?
It's 30
And
foot by
rushes
30
towards
foot.
the ship. Everyone can roll initiative.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Oh, I know what this is. We haven't had a player death in a while, so Filthy's just like not even aware of that as a thing anymore. That's what it is.
You think that's the problem?
Oh, what? This doesn't have initiative. Why it's thing.
Whoops. I fucked up. I didn't send that. I wasn't clicked on me. I can't click on me. How come I can't click on me?
You probably have the wrong type of cursor selected on the top left. You probably have a
Oh,
ruler.
shit. You're right.
Yeah.
I was measuring. Damn it.
It's okay. You can just edit it once you roll it again, then you can just edit to get your initial roll. So.
Oh, roll again.
Yep. So click on your guy, roll again. Now edit it to a 14. So you just click on the actual text in the turn order, the number rather. And you just backspace it out and then type in 1-4. Cool. All right, so there's a giant serpent creature. How big is giant?
And somehow Sniven is the closest one to it.
Wow. I assumed you'd sit in the back of the boat with Tim in the front. That would make sense.
Hey,
Should have been rowing.
No, Tim is rowing. So
Yeah,
he should
So
back.
I
this
should
thing
be closer
springs out
to
of the
it.
water.
Although I have
and
17 AC right now.
its tail whips out from below and slices towards Sniven. Does a 24 hit you?
a 24 hits me.
Say again.
Yes, a 24 hits me.
You have to make a strength save.
Or be pulled into the water.
You take 10 bludgeoning damage,
You're grappled.
and you are now grappled.
Step 1.
Cool. Not like this!
You're only grappled. You're not pulled out of the boat yet. You're wrapped up in its coils. By the
Gotcha.
way, is it have arms, or did it wrap him up with his head, or did you say
Tail.
tail?
Tail.
Okay. How deep is this water? How big is this serpent? I want scale. Is this like... How big?
So the token, as Steve said, is 30 by 30. So you can imagine that this thing's probably like 5 to 7 feet wide, maybe 10 feet wide.
What?
The water is very dark and like inky, and you can't really tell how deep it is.
Okay.
You know your oars are at least, I don't know, 5 foot, 6 foot.
Who in the party is wearing plate?
I'm in half plate. I'm not getting off this boat. Well, it depends.
Shackle.
It's up to me.
Mm.
Can we maneuver the boat closer?
Fucking god.
Sure. Who's rowing? Thaddeus. So you'd have to wait till his turn.
Fucking Thaddeus.
I want to spend
could-
my action rowing.
Hold your action.
I would rather. Can I I have this image of like a gondolier, but my boat is Thaddeus, and I'm using the pole. All right, I need to do something then, don't I? All right. So first thing I do is I'm going to stick the Spectre. So I guess I need the token and to roll again for the Spectre. So he rolls his own initiative. So okay.
I think you're within 10 feet of it already. Anyway.
If I am, I'm gonna pole arm it. I'm not sure if I am or not.
Yeah.
What was it? It's a D20 plus 2.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, it's an 18 on the Spectre. Thought I had it selected. Oh, I did it wrong. That's why. Okay. Let's make it 18 though. All right. I'm in 10 foot of him. Oh, that's great. Surprised by that. Sure. Fucking right I am. I will cast as a bonus action. I'm going to use Baleful Curse on him. I'll link that in a second if you like, and then with my actions, I will take my regular attacks on him.
Okay.
Okay. The first is a 26, and that's finally. Of course, I took off. So this would be so glorious. Before this session, when I leveled up, I removed Eldritch Smite from my incantations and invocations and took a different one. So I don't have it anymore. But this is a fucking crit for me because I crit with Baleful Curse. I crit on a 19 or a 20, and I would have been able to Eldritch Smite him for about approximately 1 million damage for only the second time in the campaign. But I literally removed it before this episode. Okay, so that will be a crit. So that's gonna do 9 twice. So you want me to roll that again?
I think you just roll twice, and because we just have to subtract the modifiers.
Okay, so that then is 9 minus 5, or rather 17 minus 5, so it's 12, and then we're going to I add my proficiency bonus, which is 3 from the curse itself. So it's going to do 15 points of damage on the first attack, and I have a second attack.
Okay.
Which is also with the head. That's a 17. Does that hit?
Yes.
Okay, that's going to do 15.
So it does 30 in total?
Did I do 15 last time?
I think so. Sorry.
Yes, I did. Okay, so 30. Yep.
All right.
And I'm done.
The Spectre goes as well?
Not on my. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess it's
Because it got a 18.
all right. It is going to float over to this thing. This is dark in here. You said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hovering over here, I think, and it's going to take an attack on this guy as well. Let's take a look at that. So 22 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we'll roll. Does 6 points of, I believe it's necrotic damage. And
Okay.
it needs the DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
And what happens if it fails?
It loses max HP. It's not very relevant on enemies, but it loses max HP equal to the damage it took.
Scott, it passes.
Okay, so it just takes 6 points of damage then.
Okay. And then, Xilo, you are grappled.
I will try to ungrapple myself.
Okay.
What spell will you use for that? Nice.
You are free.
You
That
wiggle
takes
out.
my action.
Yeah.
I think that takes my action, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not what I had in mind.
Kevin?
Can I attack the... How did the boats work, Adam? Can I stand on Xylo's tile to attack? Or can I just not attack right now?
You could bring it
You
like
could
Oh yeah,
change
because
the direction of the boat.
like technically
Okay.
you can't stand on someone else's tile. So
Yeah.
like theoretically we would need to do it at the same time. And you can't do
Well,
that.
just move the boat. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
So am I able to make it past their boat to the shore?
Well, you're gonna
thinking of abandoning them. I'm in.
sail past them, kind of thing.
Well, I'm wondering if I go straight north, whether I can slide between them and the cliff wall and beach us.
Nuanced maritime maneuvers. An
Okay.
interesting moment for it.
Oh god. This is so terrible.
You want to? I see, Thaddeus. You want to bring the broadside to bear on them.
We're wearing plate, you fool.
Just ram the boat into the sea creature.
If you want to do that, I can say you can do that. You can make it to the shore.
And then after the boat slams into the creature, then you could pull out your weapons and start attacking it.
All right, so how much of my move does doing that take?
I'll say that takes your move action.
My move action, so I could
Yeah,
still
all of
hit
it.
it from where I
Sure.
am?
Sure.
All right, I will do that.
I've never fought a fight underwater. Is it really painful?
Only the drowning part.
I'll let you know.
It's like falling. Then you're saying.
Right. All right, so without advantage, I get 2 swings on this guy.
Okay, that's a miss.
And 22.
That's a hit. You slam it with your hammer.
All right,
For 11. Okay. What damage type is that?
that's bludgeoning.
Okay.
Is there something strange about the damage I deal?
Yeah, you're definitely hurting it, but not as much as you'd think or expect. It seems to be like kind of, well plated.
I'll remind you again,
Uh,
Adam. I'm sure you noticed, but I have a magic weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steven? You just always do damage all the time, is how I think.
Yeah.
That's unless there's like a specific thing against that. So you could like, well,
You're going to make.
I
love to it.
mean, oh my god, I'm gonna blade song, my bonus action.
Okay.
You're the only one that can move the boat, by the way.
Yeah, I will haste. I think. And I'm gonna move the boat so that it is. I'm gonna like pivot myself. I want me to be down there, and Xilo can stay exactly where Xilo is. I want Xilo to be able to output damage as well.
okay, you
Actually,
just wanna-
If I rotate the boat like
It does not.
180 degrees, does that give the sea creature an attack of opportunity
No.
against Xilo?
Because it's not a
It's not
voluntary.
voluntary movement for him.
Right.
All right. Well, I would like to do that. So Xilo and I essentially change places. Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
just do that instead of moving the boat.
Okay. But I am still in control of the oars. I want to make that very clear.
That's fine.
Sniven looks tired and out of sorts. I need to be in charge of the rowing.
Okay.
I'm being very protective at this moment. And I have an extra additional attack, which I can do nothing with, basically. Well, I will rapier the thing
It's not nothing. Look at that.
Okay.
for
You hit
12
it.
damage.
12.
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, your weapon seems to be less effective than you expect.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I can basically do nothing with that. All right.
Okay.
If you can like buy magic items in town or something.
Not ineffective, but less effective.
Yeah. Resistant.
Okay.
Do we know what this creature is called? Have we been able to figure out what it is just from looking at it yet? Like once we've, been
Sure. Who wants to roll? What do you want to like? Who's got? What is it? Is it survival? And is there a nature roll in this?
There is a nature roll. I never know the difference between nature and survival. So
Survival is trying to find things out in the wild. Nature is like recognizing things out in
I
the
don't
wild,
have
creatures and stuff.
proficiency.
Oh, that's a suffocating roll. That's nice.
yeah, a number of minutes equals.
Yeah,
to,
minutes.
You have fucking
Minutes.
1,000
Yeah.
combat rounds to hold your breath.
Right. I'm linking that as in like, okay, cool. I'm not about to die horribly.
All right. So I can roll survival and try to guess what this thing is.
Sure.
Is that what we're doing? I think we're supposed to be remembering
Or
or
nature.
identifying.
Yeah. Like
I'd like to guess. It's a bear. It's
I'm just trying
clearly
to
a
remember
bear.
what rolls you
It's a
guys.
giant fucking
do.
eel.
I just need one of your characters. Where
It
are you?
looks like a dragon almost.
Like a bear.
Yeah, I would say Arcana or Nature or Survival.
We're gonna fight this for 10 rounds, and then it's gonna turn into one of the civilians in the washroom that you kill. Fucking wear
so,
creatures everywhere.
on its turn, it's gonna do the same kind of thing towards Tim.
Wait, I rolled a 20 survival. Did that give me anything?
Oh, sorry. Okay, right. So where are we? Bum, 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 bum.
It raises your passive by 1, which we're ignoring.
Yeah, so this looks like a giant sea creature that you would recognize as a just a water serpent. So it's like made up of like magical essence and water, and it's almost a purely magical being. It's very resistant to like most regular weapons, and it seems to just be able to absorb a lot of attacks from certain things because of its consistency in its body. It's a very powerful but slow creature, and that's kind of things that you would recognize from what you've learned.
Next time we go
All right.
rowing, I say we cast haste on Tim first.
So 24 to hit you, Stephen.
It's alright, use the shield spell. Oh, right, we didn't long rest.
He could have 3 of those if he wanted.
I'll shield it, I guess.
Is that upcast?
Okay.
Is that a level 3 shield?
No,
Hmm.
that's my last spell slot.
It's the Spectres go.
What? Oh, okay. I see. The Spectres go. Spectre will make another attack of the same sort over here. So it's 1d20 plus 8. Okay. 17 hit.
Yeah.
Okay. For 5, and the other contact check. It's gonna make almost no
Okay.
practical difference unless this creature like heals or runs off or something.
Right.
Yeah.
It
Impact.
doesn't like do extra damage, right? It just like lowers the
Hit
top.
point max.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes
Right,
5
okay.
points of necrotic damage. Does necrotic
And
seem to be
Chakolth?
doing full damage?
Yeah. You can see that that's just
Alright.
normal.
Can I get off the boat? Just normal movement.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can just walk around there.
Oh, good. The game master is rolling perception.
See if we notice the
I will.
ghouls.
I
out of the
will
wall.
yell loudly as I make this swing.
That's really frustrating. I can't make it.
Yeah. How about you run 100 feet north, making as much noise as possible while we turn around?
I will, for my action.
That sounds
I
great.
will toot a war cry on my trumpet.
What's wrong with you?
All right, first attack, second attack. Do either those, and then the third attack is that one. Does a 14?
Let me check. No, if that one, the other two hit, that one misses.
Okay, so this will do 8. It'll do 11 rather, and then the second one will do 9. So I'm doing 20 points of magical slashing and magical piercing.
29.
20.
20. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Sniven, did you? Oh, you don't get temporary HP. Everyone else gets it, right?
Sniven?
I get it too.
Oh, you did? Are you sure?
So it's four people.
No. Do you also able to move with that then? I didn't know you could move yourself.
No, I can't do that part.
The fucking shark's got a rider on it. It's 2 hours south. 2 arms, lads.
I don't see it.
Wait, I thought the shark was to the west. The tuxedo
Moved around
shark?
to the south.
Sniven can see it as well now. It's kind of like here.
Okay.
The shark has a rider on it to our south.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
Jump overboard and swim, Sniven. It's your only chance.
I'm
Maybe
gonna...
we could try to parley with them. Is that a pirate's code thing? If you just yell parley
Let's try it with the serpent.
or parlay, maybe?
I'm gonna pull out a short bow and shoot the serpent, and I'm gonna say like, we're not here to hurt anyone, please. We're just-
Persuasion at disadvantage.
So as you shoot it with a short bow.
I'm saying that to the rider that I can see,
Oh, okay.
assuming that these are separate entities.
You can roll persuasion with disadvantage.
Okay.
And then Kevin.
Wow. All right. So I'm gonna just.
They find your voice extra irritating, and they weren't going to
You
attack
see, Zyla, you see the rider spin his like long spear around this majestic blade at the end of it, and starts coming towards you.
Right. Taunted it. Wonderful.
Kevin.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack this guy. That's once. Does that hit?
Yep.
All right. And then a second time, and that misses.
Oh, miss. Yeah. Okay. So you slam it in the side, and it kind of sort of turns to you and screeches this horrible ear-piercing howl at you as you hit it, and then it turns back towards Tim. As it's your turn.
I just want to make it immensely clear at this point. I have a scroll of fireball. I am not using that. We are going to die instead of me using that
Yes.
because I could have just put that in my spellbook and had it for the rest of the campaign.
I agree.
And this is your fault, filthy robot.
I'm fine. I
This
have no
is,
problem with this.
This is your fault.
This is good.
I agree. Die before using the fireball spell.
I'm gonna
Wait,
die with
wait.
held to my chest.
Wait,
Yep.
Tim, you said you desperately wanted to go up the river. You agreed with him. This is as much on you as it is him. You were the first one in the boat.
Not talking to you.
You were the first one in the boat.
Can I attack the shark or is it not attackable?
It's underwater.
That's never stopped me before.
It's at least 15 foot away.
You can
If
dive
you want to dive in and attack it,
I assume that swinging a
So-
sword underwater doesn't work super well for me, regardless, right?
what armor are you wearing?
I'm not wearing armor. I'm in mage armor.
He's not
So
even
you-
wearing pants.
You could probably swim effectively, I would say, then if you're not wearing any heavy armor. But you could probably try a couple of rounds down there. Like it says, you take what? How long does it take you just before you start drowning
It's
and suffocating?
fucking forever. It's your con mod +1 in minutes.
Mhm.
So I have
Start
5 minutes because of this amulet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Well,
yeah.
Sniven, hold the boat. Take
Did
care
you
of the
wanna-
serpent for me. I'm gonna jump into the water, and I'm gonna green flame blade the rider of the shark.
Is
Does-
that before or after you ask for parley?
After.
During.
No,
Does
you
the serpent
did
get,
do that, did you?
Does the serpent get to attack him when he dives off?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I don't want to leave 5 feet of it. Aren't they like here?
All right. So, well, you're going to go 5 feet across
Over
and then
there,
5 feet
something.
down. So you're technically, I would say, leaving it space because it's above water and you're going underwater.
I'm good
Right.
with that.
Beautiful.
Come on, can't fail.
And I feel like as a hasted guy, I'm capable of swinging my sword underwater. That makes sense to me. If I'm like,
Sure. So, 25 to hit you?
oh, it is attacking me.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it wasn't attacking me.
No, it will be
Oh, am I
because
committed to this now? All right.
Does
Well,
it-
I mean, 25 hits me.
Okay. What you've got on Blade Song and Haste? Okay. So,
Yeah.
you take 9 and then make a strength save.
Oh, this is going to be like a kraken swinging him around above the water. It's going to be beautiful.
You are grappled. You do not go in the water.
Is that at the end of my turn? I don't know the rules for grapple.
You're he linked it earlier. Can you link it again, Adam? You put it in chat a little bit further up.
Oh, right, because he didn't take his action yet. Then theoretically, he could use his action to try to break the grapple.
Mhm. Yep.
You know?
Or can I just attack the thing that's grappling me?
Grapple creature speed becomes 0 and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. The condition ends if grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if an effect removes the grappled creature from the reach. I don't think it says. I think it's
So I
just
can
that.
just attack it?
Yeah.
You can still attack, yeah.
Okay, so I'm picturing like Tim with like a tentacle wrapped around his stomach, and he's just like stabbing at this thing in front of him.
Right, well, I'll boom and blade it.
Okay.
So I hit. Right?
Okay, so yeah, that's a hit. Yep.
A lot of times creatures
Bam.
can do things to you after they grapple you. It's like a 2-turn effect. Like the first turn is grapple you, the second turn is like eat you. Just
Right.
in general.
Well,
It's
that's
turn.
fucking bad. I have a haste attack as well.
Sure. Okay.
Also an attack, I assume. Or a hit.
That one's half.
Yep,
though.
that sounds terrible.
You make another strength save.
Oh, because that was the end of his turn, wasn't it? Ooh.
Okay. What is it? 2D.
It like
You
crushes
take
you.
4 more bludgeoning, and it tries to pull you like off the boat somehow in some way, and you fight it, so you don't move.
All right.
The Spectre.
All right, I'm gonna tell it to save
So-
Tim.
1 sec. Since it
Alright.
attacked Tim, can I get a reaction and take a swing at it?
What's Sentinel? Is it an ally within 5 feet of you, or an
think-
enemy within 5 feet of you attacking an ally?
Whichever one it is, yeah, it's going to determine that.
Sentinel. Creatures within 5 feet provoke opportunity attack. No, and that's when they leave the reach. When an adjacent creature attacks anyone except me.
Yep, then you can.
cool. Yes, kill it.
What's your charisma modifier for my strength saves? So I get plus something for them, right?
1.
That's a good point. We should be doing that. 10 feet of Thaddeus.
That's just
Right.
always on,
Yeah,
Yep.
his aura.
Well,
Within
if you're
10
within
foot.
10 feet.
right?
Oh, it's amazing.
Okay, so is the Spectre attack?
I get that reaction.
Oh, wait, sorry. Wait, yeah, sorry, Kevin's talking.
I have to con save.
Oh, wow.
Oh yes.
Can you smite as a reaction? Because you should smite on crits if you have the resources. I think you can.
could-
I think smite is just you add it to. It's not like it's
Well,
not a bonus
yeah.
reaction. It's not a bonus anything. It's just when you do damage, you have the option of smiting, right?
I think so too.
Divine Smite. When you hit a creature. Well, here.
Yeah, when you hit a creature.
Yeah. So you're welcome to smite. You're welcome to divine smite at a double dice if you want to do that.
All right. Well, so let's do that. So I would do the damage of the attack, right?
Okay.
And then I would add my single level of Divine Smite.
Okay. Then you roll
Is that
those
right?
again. If you're doing a level 1 Divine Smite, yep. But okay, so what is the 7 plus 3? It's the you rolled a 1. Okay.
So that's my.
Okay, so that is the crit roll. Okay, so it's done the crit for the attack. It hasn't done the crit for the smite. So roll smite again.
Right.
Okay. So you do 10 bludgeoning, which is halved, and you do 13 radiant damage, I think, which probably isn't halved.
Okay. So you swing your hammer and you slam it into the side of this creature, and this aura emits from your hammer as you crash and hit it, and it kind of screeches in pain, and it seems to roil backwards, and all of a sudden it just kind of explodes, and you guys just get showered with water, and not like a little bit of rain, like you are all of a sudden instantly, all of you completely soaked, and you can see like part of it turns to mist, and almost as if it like evaporates.
Cool.
Is that mist moving like cohesively, or just kind of?
No, it's just as if it's like the end of a spell. Maybe it's a familiar sight to you.
Okay.
Cool.
The water that rushes off me is like totally red.
Okay.
My
You are
Spectre's turn? Out of combat. There's not a fucking shark rider down there?
Everyone roll perception.
I'm great at perception.
Me too.
Say that every time you roll initiative also. I'm great at initiative.
So as the water hits you, Tim and Chakolth's vision is obscured quite heavily, and they can't see this. Sniven and Thaddeus, being a little bit shorter and just keen of eyes, see this shark and the rider just dash off in this direction. Now remember, the water is quite black and inky and very hard to see, so you see its form go off like over here, and then by the time it's got to there, you kind of lose sight of it. You don't know whether it went north or west, or whether it's still hovering around in that area. It's just out of your vision now.
What did you say, Quinn?
I'm not seeing your pings.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, hang on. There we go. So it sort of swam this way, and then once it got to like this line here, you can't kind of see where it went, whether it went that way or that way. You don't know.
Gotcha.
Right. Well, it's great to have this here for a rainy day. If the weather's bad, just head underwater, do some killing. I'm leaving now. Sniv and I are going this way, back toward those civilians.
My party consists clearly and totally of babies.
I'm thinking about forming a party with the babies of those civilians because they will be less likely to get me killed.
All right. Well, I'll even help you row there.
I'm rowing with haste for the next 48 seconds, so I'm gonna get good distance down to her, I would say.
With Sniven.
With Sniven.
Who's talking as the boat rapidly vanishes down the hole. You're like, come on, guys.
Sniven is helping with the rowing while also trying to sing a song to encourage rowing.
Excellent. Would you like to roll performance? Beautiful.
Why does one token go on top of another, but not the other token on top of that? Why is the Spectre always on top of Chakolth, but not vice versa?
I can set the
just
order.
Different layers.
Yeah. Set the order, because then I can move them both together. I can just shift them.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So you should now be able to put him on top of that.
Thank you.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Right. So you guys row back?
So, Chakolth, do we leave?
We're going to have a long rest here.
You guys can explore there. That's fine. Sniven and I are cantrips.
Chakolth and Thaddeus.
Yeah, literally cantrips.
That's not true. Sniven has fucking
The 4 bardic inspirations. Yeah.
Which
32.
Are 8. Yeah, I know.
32 healing times 4. Theoretical.
Yeah. You got
So,
we can't. They're literally taking the decision away from us. So I don't know. Fucking know. I mean, if we're placating baby over there, I guess we're doing that. So sure. We can. I get back on the boat. You wanna? I mean, we just want to get back on these boats with a fucking dolphin lancer over there running around, and expect that we're gonna outrun them in the dinghy with the fucking oars. You bet. What could go wrong? We have 2 miles of river to get.
I don't have to outrun him. I just have to outrun you.
Sure. Let's get back fighting in the boats. There was dry land right here.
I'm worried about leaving. Actually, I hate the idea of being in the water.
Yeah, I can drown. Take me 5 minutes, but I can do it. Can't drown on dry land.
All right, so we wait 24 hours. No one moving where they at.
From now on, when I want to make decisions, I'm just gonna do them too. Be that like run into buildings, aggro whole groups, make decisions.
Sometimes it's acceptable. Sometimes it's not.
Yep, we just reached the ladder. All right, so.
So, do we risk it? Do we paddle out of here, or do we sit here and guard and?
Who was the 2 vote in the previous place?
It was me, but that was for above ground. I don't know if somebody else's. Or
Whose
here.
idea was it to come in here?
Mine.
Filthy.
Chakolth. So should we say he has the 2 vote, or?
No, I think this is still Tim's
fine
keep.
with that.
I'm fine with this.
Okay.
Going Tim's keep. Like, that's fair. You should remind me of that earlier before I get all self-righteous about it, because actually I think that's literally his. I think he's allowed to make that decision, actually. So. All right.
I think it's much more fun to see it play out and then remind you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well,
I don't know,
because
Thaddeus.
still,
I take your point. It might be more dangerous for us to get in the water than wait here. It changes basically nothing for me if I long rest right now or not. Like, so.
I'm questioning my party's intuition.
I am more scared of
You're
the boat
You're
right now.
underground, 2 miles underground, in some structure that is clearly guarded by a giant serpent, and there's somebody who has encountered you and is now leaving, presumably to raise the alarm.
That
would be
they could be circling
literally
around for another run at us. You know, now we're gonna get on this fucking rowboat. You realize how not a good stable fighting platform that is for 2 men in plate?
Yeah, that.
I mean, yes, I knew that before we decided to row 2 miles underground in it.
And
play.
have you ever checked the time to doff armor?
Yeah, it's like 10
Takes a while.
minutes.
Yeah, we'd be under there like.
It's
Can you
unfortunate we didn't have 10 minutes before getting in
Hey,
the boat.
can you unbuckle this for me?
can you
Right.
untie the?
It takes, doesn't it take like?
It's
I think it's 10 minutes when someone helps you put it on in a because some people have, like when you're asleep and you don't have it on right and you get attacked at
I
night.
wear it. I wear
So-
it when I sleep.
Just row back
Yep. That's,
and we'll sleep.
All right,
rowing
let's row back.
I sing
Sure.
You don't have
row.
to go sleep. There's lots of other stuff to do in the world, and this is not anywhere near anything we need to care about right now.
I mean, well,
Well,
Sniven cares about.
Hold on, which is it? Is it the heart of the damp cult, in which case it's something we're running away from because it's so dangerous, or is it nothing we need to care about? Like, those are mutually exclusive here.
Sniven is very interested in what's down there, but just not right. Literally an hour after killing an entire castle.
Right. Okay. So we've arrived back. We get back
Okay,
onto
and-
dry land. I guess we weren't assaulted by dolphins on the way back.
You guys
So
sail back.
I'd like to pull
back.
Chakolth
Sail.
over to me, and I'd like to explain. Chakolth, look, you're a very reliable guy. You just all the time, 100%. I tend to burn out a little more. I get very excited for, on average, I would say 3 to 4 minutes, and then I am just exhausted. I give all my passion at once, you know.
I've heard about
So
this.
if
It
you wanna-
happens to some men.
Yes, and if you want to pick some extracurricular activities which will not get me killed for me to do, where I can
I think it's a mental
assist
thing,
you,
Tim.
that sounds great.
You got to think about something else. Slow it down a bit.
I just killed a lot of people in a church, and I have something extremely, extremely wonderful to think about for the next several weeks. So I wouldn't worry about that.
So while you imbeciles are hugging each other, what are we going to do next?
I guess we go back upstairs.
And
pitch a
just
tent.
fast forward 24 hours.
Well, we're gonna guard these staircases in and out, watch the boat, because now we've got people who ride dolphins running up and down this thing. But yeah, I mean, certainly I I don't think we want to leave this place. I don't want this fortress being is it shark, not dolphin? Sorry. I don't want to have this fortress be recaptured. Like,
Okay,
we have
so
to come back and fight our way back in.
Right. So how about we literally just spend time here, right where we're at, so we always have someone on watch from where we know are hostiles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
So
how about that chain? Can we get the chain off the that currently blocks the little harbor from the river and spread that across this area? Is it like was it one of these like net chains? Oh, it's fixed. Okay.
It's fixed. Do you guys explore the other direction of the place you're in at all?
No.
Okay.
I assume
we're
that
now
because you saw daylight this way.
Yeah, we assumed
Right.
that was the grill.
Yeah, I
Right.
assumed that was coming out
Good.
here.
As long as you guys have deduced that, that's fine.
All right.
Good. You're long resting here?
basically.
When you say here, you mean down on the boat launch down there?
Yeah. So that on watch is basically just looking down the thing.
How deep is the water here, Adam? I'll use polearm, whatever I need, see if I can touch bottom.
How long is the pole arm?
10 foot?
Didn't we say it was 7 foot deep because the ghouls were standing under the boats?
Well, we don't know if they were standing. They were 7 feet beneath the boats, but I didn't hear if they were standing,
So
swimming,
this bit-
hanging.
This 15 foot here is about essentially a slow incline down of about 7 foot. So where the ghouls were, they were stood on the lowest point, and then it just continues to kind of slope away.
Can you reveal more of the fog south of this so I can
Sure.
see where the other wall is?
So that's actually the border of the map,
Okay.
the image I'm using. So
Okay. So that would we consider the wall to be about there for the tunnel? About 30 feet?
it's probably even further,
Okay.
but
So that's pretty wide.
quite wide. But this is like the biggest bit. Like, so the bit to the east immediately starts to narrow, so that it comes out at the other end.
Okay. I mean, I'm certainly happy to long rest here. I mean, what we actually need to do is take a long rest before our long rest, because we have about 16 hours to kill before we're able to long rest again.
Right, which means, do we want to go do something and
How about
You know
we
what I
start
should've
cleaning
done?
up the bodies?
I should've
Clean up
played
some
Coffee
bodies, bury some people.
That's a good idea. I like the idea of cleaning up the place some.
We should probably feed our horses.
Really? Because I feel like that's a terrible idea.
I
Because we
mean-
just literally, as you said, there's somebody who's just spotted us, ran off to get help, and is now hypothetically going to be like, there's invaders in the keep. And I really don't want to turn our back to them and do a bunch
Oh,
of
I
things
see
that
what
split
you're
us
saying.
up.
Right, okay. I could see that.
well, so
If we think that we're in danger here, I think that leaving would be the thing to do. We're here because we cannot fight that stuff at the moment. Like, you might be able to.
Oh, right.
I have
so we
0
just-
spell slots and 29 HP.
So we just go back up the stairs and just close the door. And yeah, I'm fine with that also, actually.
Can we, as we get back here, can you tell us a little bit more about the grate that blocks the front of the bottom of the river to the little harbor inside the castle? Like, is that a grate that can be removed? Is it a drawbridge? Not drawbridge. Portcullis at all, or anything similar, or is it fixed? In
Sorry,
the
which
blocking
one?
passage.
The one on the big map.
Yeah, on the map, the big keep map, there's a barrier between where the mouth of the river opens up and then into that little harbor that's protected. What is that barrier like?
Okay, 2 seconds.
Sure.
13.
Because if we barricade this door and that's not removable, we actually have some protection.
Okay, the iron gate has so the north side of the boat facing up against a steep rocky bluff. Rose coaster, 6 foot above the water. So yeah, an iron grate blocks the stream mouth. It has a swinging gate section secured by a simple lock, of which you found the key for on JoINrbs.
Does it open in or out?
Let's see. It would open in towards the area. No, sorry, out. I guess from your perspective, outwards, because you're coming out of the tunnel, so it would open into the harbour.
Opens into the harbor. Okay. Would it be possible to put the boat that's in the harbor in such a way as to block that gate from opening?
Sure.
All right.
You guys can use a bit of rope that you've probably got in a pack to secure it up in some way.
Yeah, I could be comfortable with that.
Well, it's a locked gate. I don't even know that you need the boat in front of it, but I'm willing to help do it.
Well, presumably they could have the key that we
Mhm.
have, or
Right.
it might just, as it is, it's a simple lock. Not impossible to get past a simple lock. Might be a little bit harder to get by the boat, and it might take some more time. I don't know. I mean, they can untie ropes as well as they can pick locks, I guess. But depending on where we tie the ropes, it doesn't have to be tied to the gate. They might not. They have to either go past the gate to get to the ropes, and we could be camped over that way, paying attention to it. This way, just like if the door is barricaded and the tunnel entrance is barricaded, how do they get to us?
Yeah, let's just do that. Just because
Right.
we have lots of essential in-game time to kill, as long as it just doesn't take too much out of game time.
Okay.
Anyone else have any other suggestions for this? Tim wants. You still want to leave, Tim, and find your way in a different part of the world? Take up something that isn't adventuring.
Oh, we're adventuring? I thought we were just murderers. I would legitimately like to start cleaning up the courtyard and burying the people we've killed and making this place less of a hellhole. That is
Since
what
we
I would
have-
be spending my time on.
Since we
I
have
guess we
16
could-
hours of dead time,
We can
essentially,
throw
yeah.
them all in the church and burn them.
We're trying to clean up the church.
Well, I mean,
That
not
was
gonna-
last night.
it's not gonna make it worse.
It's time to enjoy the daylight again.
Okay, but for the sake of us not spending a whole shit ton of in-game or out-of-game time on this, let's just clean up some and fast forward.
Well, either way, let's cut the part here. It's a good time to
Okay.
do it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.